Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to Quality Shot Tennis. Today we've got the third round match between Lorenzo Musetti and Novak Djokovic. Direct rematch from last year. Gonna see how it plays out. Djokovic gonna try to not let the same result happen. What's up, everybody? How are we all doing? Let me get the scoreboard. For the match. Both guys are currently warming up. The head-to-head is 3-1 for Djokovic. The head-to-head really plays in kind of three different tales the last 3 years. In 2021, they played an infamous match at Roland Garros where Djokovic led the head-to-head. Djokovic was losing the match 2-0 down, and then Musetti kind of, let it go a little bit. Djokovic did a good comeback. And Djokovic ended up winning that match, which was a great opportunity for Musetti. And then the next year after that, Djokovic won 2 matches easily over Musetti, only dropping 9 games in total in Paris, in Dubai as well. And then last year in Monte Carlo, it felt almost like cosmic justice for Musetti as he managed to beat Djokovic last year in a really, really big win. Djokovic having, won the Australian Open, being in good form last year. So that was a big win. And a big loss for Djokovic to start off his clay season. It wouldn't get any easier for him from there. But yeah, this should be an interesting one. Musetti played well in Miami, so he beat Ben Shelton. And he's currently number 24 in the world. So this should be good. Here, let me get the scoreboard working. It's going to be, Novak to serve first. Start us off. Hopefully that is showing up now. All right, cool. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, Lexi? Good to have you in here. Thanks for joining in. Always tune in for Nole. Yeah, Novak. I reckon that Novak wins this. Musetti might, the fact that Musetti beat him last year, it makes you wonder, can he do it 2 years in a row? And I think he probably can, but I feel fairly confident. I have Novak getting through. Let's see what all happens. And it's Novak starting us off here. Is at the outside, is at 15 love. Djokovic here serving first. Serve. Djokovic, the backhand of Musetti, forehand of Novak. The backhand slice of Musetti. Backhand's the drop shot. Musetti runs. Forehand behind Novak. That's too good for Musetti. This youngster taking on one of the greatest who's held a racket. 15 all. Always fun. Always fun. Musetti's not at the level yet of a Sinner and Alcaraz or Runa, but he's still a huge talent. He's a huge prospect. He's passionate about the game. He's going to work hard to keep improving. So he's somebody to look out for sure, even if he's not there right now. 15 all. We're getting started. Serve down the tee. Forehand of Djokovic. Side in. Forehand pass. Oh, what a volley. Some great play already, getting the crowd excited. There you go. There you go. Good stuff with that. Djokovic has really improved that net play. It's been a big thing. He's had to, right? Against Alcaraz. Can Musetti get that upset again? I've got Novak in straight sets, but absolutely something can happen. In fact, I might even change that to 3 sets. But no, I'll say straight sets. But this could be close. Listen, Musetti, he loves clay courts. His form on hard courts doesn't necessarily equal his form on clay courts. And his form on hard courts has been actually pretty decent in the Sunshine Double. And And obviously he has that confidence from winning last year. Djokovic can be prone to some early losses in Monte Carlo. In fact, he's only reached the quarterfinal twice in 7 appearances. His last 7 appearances. He hasn't made the semifinals once in his last 7. Backhand, the cross court, that's in the net. So Musetti's going to like his chances. I just think with Djokovic's motivation, rarely does a player beat Djokovic twice in a row. But absolutely, this should be close. This should be close. Even if I say Djokovic in straights, I would say this close straight sets. It might be 3 sets. Let's see what happens. And let's see if Musetti can make it even closer. Try to score an upset. Serve from Novak here. That forehand goes wide, so it's already an early break point for Lorenzo. All right, let's go Musetti. Make something happen here early. First service game is always the most scary because your level can always the most nefarious because your level can be way far from what it's going to be later in the match. First serve coming here from Novak, down break point. First serve, out wide forehand, Novak. Cross court. That's a good forehand. It's a good forehand. Hit through the court well. Novak is going to try to get that serve to the Musetti backhand a lot. So Musetti needs to keep the balls deep. That's kind of, if you're going to beat Novak, that's kind of the first thing you need to focus on is keeping everything deep. Because if you don't, then you're toast. Because Novak is going to keep everything deep himself, and it's just going to become impossible to play. All right. Serve here from Novak. Serve out wide. Forehand to Musetti. The forehand to Djokovic. Forehand of Musetti. The forehand to Djokovic down the line. Backhand slice Musetti. Forehand of Novak. Backhand Musetti at the forehand to Novak. Again, that one-handed backhand down the line. It's a good shot. Forehand down the middle. Forehand to Novak. Inside out. Backhand sliced. The backhand to Novak. Backhand down the line. That is a great first game already. That goes out. Great play from Lorenzo Musetti, the Italian, with some great swings. We're at advantage. Appreciate everybody joining in to the stream. I'll be here till the last point. 17-shot rally there. All right, let's see if Musetti can make something happen here early. Already doing really well. Constant depth and just great great play from Musetti all across the board. Not passive whatsoever. First serve goes long. So second serve from Novak. Hey, what's up, Sean? Musetti needs to channel Wawrinka and kill the backhands. Yeah, absolutely. See if we can do that. Our Dominic team. Backhand. Forehand. Novak's in the net. Musetti with the early strike. First blood. Goes to the Italian. 1-0. See how Nole bounces back. But yeah, Wawrinka, Dominic team, even say Federer circa 2011 Roland Garros. You know, these are the kind of things Musetti needs to channel, absolutely. Or just himself last year, you know. Or himself at French Open a few years ago when he won the first two sets of that match. But he needs to channel something. He's doing well so far. Few errors from Novak early. I'm sure he's going to button that down. 1-0 here for Musetti early. Can serve. It's some big forehand hitting from Lorenzo Musetti. 15 love. By the way, Medvedev lost to Khachanov earlier. Alcaraz withdrew, which was really unfortunate because he was my favorite to win the tournament, and I think some other people's favorites as well. A lot of other people's favorites. If Djokovic loses, then Sinner is the only guy left of the big kind of four guys left in the tournament. In fact, Rublev is out of the tournament. Zverev might be out of the tournament. So the draw is going to be wide open for Jannik if Djokovic goes out. I would also mention Casper and Tsitsipas. Those are two guys that are so good on clay and are still in, but yeah, Tsitsipas up 5-0 on Zverev. So yeah, I think that that would be really interesting for the draw if that's what we get. And I kind of don't expect Tsitsipas or probably Ruud to beat Zverev, although Casper, I guess I could imagine it easier. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, there'll be very few of the top guys left, I think. If Djokovic loses, which could make it an interesting dynamic in this tournament. 30-15 here for Musetti. He's drawn first blood. Youngster versus the GOAT. Second serve here from Musetti. Kick serve, backhand Novak. The forehand of Musetti, forehand of Djokovic. Forehand of Musetti, backhand Novak. Backhand of Musetti, backhand Djokovic again. Cross court goes out. It's 40-15. Djokovic at Monte Carlo has not been Djokovic since 2015. I mean, people say that. It was like Djokovic so bad at Monte Carlo. He's won the tournament twice. But since 2015, he's been bad at Monte Carlo for his standards. What was it? It was, I think, Yuri Vesely in 2016. And then, all of his losses since then, pretty much. He lost to Dominic Thiem one year, which isn't as bad, but it was Medvedev in 2019. He lost to Musetti holds, by the way, with some big serves and big forehand hitting. Really good so far, just on it. Djokovic not hitting a few too many errors and kind of letting him dictate too much, but great stuff there from Musetti. So he's at 2-0. Dan Evans, Yuri Vesely, Musetti, Davidovich Fokina, Medvedev, Thiem. It's all on the top of my head. Yeah, Vesely. And yeah, those are a few of the guys he's lost to. That's not who Djokovic is generally losing to. So Djokovic is in a bit of danger here, I think. In Monte Carlo, he's on upset alert. So let's see how he responds to that. And if he can do any better this year. Musetti is a big threat on clay. Absolutely. That goes out from Musetti off the backhand, 15 love. And by the way, it was a good sign for Musetti, right? He only just started getting his confidence momentum back on the hard courts in Miami and Indian Wells. He beat like I said, he beat Ben Shelton in Miami, had a good run there, was playing well. Lost to Alcaraz in Miami, but that's not a bad loss. He was playing decent. All right, 15 love here, Djokovic. Let's see if he can get a hold. Come on, Novak. See if Novak gets a hold here. How's Musetti been recently? Musetti, for a while, was really kind of off kilter, but last few events, he's been good. Like, his match against Alcaraz was 6-3, 6-3, but I thought he played well. Backhand down the line. It's a good shot. Another squash shot here from Musetti. Djokovic, forehand. That's what put away. 30 love. That's what put away. But let me see. Musetti's recent kind of results. Musetti's recent results. Well, by the way, in this tournament, he beat Taylor Fritz 6-4, 6-4, and then he beat Artur Fils, also in straight sets. So those are two very good wins. Fritz has been, since Delray Beach, it seems like Fritz has not really been himself either, which is unfortunate. I thought Delray Beach was going to be the start of something for Taylor. At least on grass courts, he's got to show up. Taylor's got to show up on grass. Especially if he can have some of the variety that he had in Australia and hit his backhand as, at least as decent as he was there. Yeah, I think he should be decent. I think he should have a good play on grass. He's won 2 grass tournaments. I think he could do well on grass. But yeah, at Indian Wells, he beat Shapo in 3 sets. That was a match that Shapo probably should have won, but Musetti fought well enough. And then he lost to Runa, which isn't a bad loss, especially since Runa was playing really well in Indian Wells. And then, yeah, in Miami, beat Safulin and Shelton, then lost to Alcaraz. It's a whole to love from Djokovic as Musetti misses the return, so 2-1. Guy who looks like Joaquin Phoenix in the crowd watching on, rooting for Novak. That's cool. 2-1. 2-1 for Musetti. He's up a break. Dubai, Musetti lost to Kazao. In Doha, he lost to Zhang. Rotterdam, he lost to Griekspoor. And then he lost to Mahach 6-3, 6-2 in, I think that's Marseille. Australian Open, he lost to Van Acht. So basically what I'm saying, he was on a terrible streak of form. It was really lasted a pretty decent amount of time. I mean, that's a 4-match losing streak, all to guys outside the top 50. Okay, not Griekspoor. Griekspoor is inside top 50. Sorry, Talon. Griekspoor is in the top 50. But still, those are bad losses to Mahach, Griekspoor, to Zhang, and to Kazao. But then starting from the Sunshine Double, I felt like he started playing well. Got a few wins under his belt. Beating Shelton was a good win. And, yeah, it's been a little bit better from Musetti. And but in Estoril, that was the last tournament that Musetti played. He lost to Nuno Borges in straight sets. Borges was playing well. He played a good tournament. So it's not the worst loss in the world, but that's not a great loss. But that was his last kind of match coming into this tournament. But then obviously, like I said, beat Fritz and Feast. So, you know, for a while not playing so well. Last few events a little bit better despite still finding his form. Hey, what's up, Cedric? Good to have you in here. He made an announcement a couple weeks ago. Is he still taking it easy? Yeah, I think he is. I haven't heard anything from him. It sucks. It honestly sucks because, team lost to Batista Agut and he made a statement and I don't know when he's going to be back. It sucks because he was one of the most fun players to watch when he was playing well. I mean, it was electric. What an addition to the tour. It almost reminds me a little bit of Alcaraz, the way he kind of just how, he felt like a perfect addition to the tour. Like it was perfect. Federer was on his way out and we got another amazing one-handed backhand player, but with such ferocity, almost like a Wawrinka type, with a great kind of gladiator-like mindset, it felt like at times, kind of similar to Rafa. And he was just a great kind of addition to the tour. Wow, that is a screamer of a backhand from Djokovic. Start off this game. Love 15. That's some good momentum at the start of a return game. Forehand down the line from Musetti, and that's a backhand down the line. Sometimes when you go for that winner early and you don't build out the point, you give your opponent a little bit more, they usually anticipate the shot pretty well when you go for a big shot, and I don't know, they can pull the court a little bit earlier and a little bit easier. I don't know. Musetti could have maybe built out the point there, but I like how aggressive he's playing. Probably just too good from Novak. It was a great pass. But yeah, Dominic Thiem, he was a great addition. I hope he comes back soon because it sucks to see him not healthy. Also, the fact that he never won a big title on clay is like mind-blowing, honestly. Reminds me of Ferrer and Thiem. That might be the strangest fact in tennis history. The fact that neither of those two guys ever won a big title on clay is just like, it shouldn't be real. But that's also what the big three did. And what Rafa did in particular. If anything, that fact just shows how superhuman Nadal is on clay courts. So let from Musetti's at 30-15. Serve down the tee. Didn't realize team made it to Grand Slam final on the clay, I think. Yeah, team did. But he never won it. 2 Roland Garros finals against Rafa, but never won. All right, serve here from Musetti. Serve Lorenzo. That first serve goes out. Second serve. Forehand of Novak. Oh, it's a drop shot out of nowhere. Forehand, Novak gets to it. Backhand, there's a lob whip. High smash. Novak, right back to Musetti. It's the backhand volley. Backhand Musetti, one-hander. It's a volley. Oh, it's too good. You got worried for Novak because, people joke around, but it's true. His overhead is not the best. He kind of let that one back in play. Also to the forehand of Musetti. Musetti probably could have ripped it even more back, but because they had a lot of slice to it. Musetti just opted for a topspin forehand back. I don't know if he expected Novak to let him off the hook that much. But anyway, Novak finishes it off at the net. Yeah, honestly, I think Musetti could have done more with that return off the overhead. But that forehand off the overhead. But it was good enough from Djokovic, just barely. Serve here from Musetti. Back in Novak, back into Musetti, down the line, forehand of Djokovic, the backhand of Musetti, backhand of Djokovic, the backhand of Musetti is sliced, back into Djokovic, back into Musetti, cross court, back into Djokovic, cross court, back into Musetti! Who talked about channeling Stanislas Wawrinka? Huge backhand down the line for Musetti, love it. Wow. That is a beautiful shot. Anybody who's saying take the one-handed backhand out of the game or whatever, or that it's not going to exist in the game, just watch that shot and tell me you have the heart to say that this shot's not going to stick around in tennis. What a beautiful shot that is. When he can flatten it out and just slam it for a winner. I mean, come on. Just rattling cross court and then just flattening it out for a winner. It's amazing. It's like you're charging it up, and then bam. Serve Musetti at the forehand of Djokovic. Forehand of Musetti. Forehand Djokovic down the line, backhand Musetti. The backhand of Djokovic. Forehand Musetti. The backhand of Djokovic. Forehand of Musetti. The backhand of Djokovic. Up high. That's a drop shot. It's a great one, too. That is a great one, too. He went to the Alcaraz School of Drop Shots. 3-1. Crowd likes it, I think. This is going to be a tough match for Nole. Musetti loves these courts. Djokovic does not, as of late. Wow. Awesome stuff from Musetti early on here. Very gutsy, too, in pretty much all parameters. Very gutsy. Serve Djokovic. That goes long. Goes long. Serve from Novak. The backhand of Musetti. Backhand Djokovic. That's a drop shot. That's a bad one, though. That's in the ground. Love 15. Djokovic got to pick this up real quick. Novak's got to pick this up real quick. All right. Let's go, Djokovic. He's got to figure this out in this game. He's got to at least stay close with Musetti. Serve out wide. Drop volley. Musetti is there. Forehand cross court. Love 30. I tell you what, Djokovic is not like these conditions. It's super, super, super slow. Lots of rallies. He needs he needs a high shot tolerance, especially when playing a guy who loves clay like a Musetti. His serve is very much neutralized on a court like this. His big weapons are. And like the serve in particular. And it's super windy. I mean, he doesn't love these conditions right at the start of clay. And it's not going to get any easier the older he gets. Smash put away. Hasn't he beaten Nole, or it was close? Yeah, Musetti's beaten Nole. Musetti beat Djokovic in this tournament last year. This is a rematch. It's a direct rematch from last year's match. It's a direct rematch of last year's match. Serve from Djokovic. It's a let. First serve coming. First serve from Nole. Down the tee. Forehand. Musetti has a great return to even get it back. Goes big on the forehand, but hits it wide. Go Musetti. Okay, Terry. So Terry. See how Lorenzo can do. That's why I said at the start is that this is like a youngster versus one of the greats. Yeah, see how Lorenzo can do. Lorenzo definitely one of the flashier guys on the circuit. I always like watching him play. I also don't really like how people have counted him out in the last year or so. I never have quite done that. He's certainly got top 10 potential on him if he can keep improving. That forehand is wild from Djokovic. I don't mean that in a good way. I mean that went way out and well long. That's a lot of errors from Djokovic that he needs to button down. All right, break point for a double break for Musetti. We could see lightning strike twice. Backhand, the forehand of Musetti. That goes out. Deuce. But Musetti is probably also going to get notorious for being I guess he already is, but being particularly very good on clay. And he performs at his best at Roland Garros, at Monte Carlo, at Rome, at the slowest of the clay courts. So at Barcelona, at the slower clay courts, he seems to perform the best. So this was always going to be a test. Let's see if Djokovic can at least hold here and stay close. Forehand chipped, the forehand of Novak. Back in Musetti. That line goes out though. Advantage to Djokovic. But here's the thing that, I think what would make more people excited about clay is if we had, in my opinion, more kind of quick hard courts and more of a grass circuit and all of those things, because I love the clay court season, but all the hard courts are becoming so slow, and hard courts are not the same. But how good would it be if we had different variety across the whole circuit that just kind of accentuates different parts of the game? And I guess we have that, but if we had more of that, more quick hard courts, more grass. Smash the forehand of Musetti. Chip, that goes out. It's a fist bump from Djokovic. He holds there for 3-2. Djokovic staying close. Because, clay is great because the big servers, the big servers aren't necessarily rewarded as much. And sometimes it's more about the people who can grind it out and, play good defense and rally well, et cetera, et cetera. That sometimes is the thing. On grass courts, completely different. The people who can play more aggressive often have a lot of kind of variety and can hit good drop shots and can come to net and hit good winners and hit good serves. And then, have hard courts are different as well. It would be great if we had much more of that, more clay, more fast hard courts, more grass, so that we could get excited about all of the, what we have nowadays, which is a lot of slow hard courts. And if we had more fast hard courts, we would get even more excited about clay because not everything is super slow. I think that'd be great for tennis. The more variety we can have, because that makes tennis make more sense. The fact that there's so many different ways to play tennis, and that you can hit just like trillions of different shots in tennis. It's like that makes it like the fact that there would be different surfaces like accentuates the fact that there's so many different ways to play the game and so many different shots to hit. So if we could have the main highest level circuit on the tour, which is at the moment the ATP tour, if we could have them play with more variety in the whole year, more clay, more grass, I think that'd be a lot better. And that it is what it was for the whole history of the game up until around the mid 80s. So until where now it's just become more and more hard courts and everything's become much slower, especially in the last 5-10 years. So yeah, that's just my opinion on it. All right, 3-2 for Musetti here. But yeah, a guy like Musetti, he can really excel on a court like this, which is a very, very slow clay court. I think Djokovic just doesn't like the wind very much. That's part of it. And the slowness doesn't necessarily help him either. Of course. Serve here from Musetti. Backhand of Djokovic, the backhand of Musetti, backhand of Novak. The forehand of Musetti, backhand of Djokovic. It's a lob way up high forehand of Musetti. The backhand of Djokovic, forehand drop shot. Musetti, that's a great drop shot. That's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. I remember Tennis TV posted a drop shot that sent it very similar to that yesterday, but that one was even better, I gotta say. It was a great backhand from Novak, and then Musetti way behind the baseline goes for a forehand drop shot cross court. And I mean, it is just, you can't hit a drop shot better than that. The camera angle as well is unbelievable. I mean, it dropped just in front of the net, just over the net and just in front of the net. If you look at perfect drop shot, I won't kid you, I've barely ever seen a more perfect drop shot than that, especially from that tough of a position. That was unbelievable. That was Federer-like. Serve here from Musetti. That really was Federer-like. Backhand Musetti. The backhand Djokovic. That one-handed backhand to the backhand of Novak. Down the line. That goes out. 30 love. 30 love. This has been great so far from Lorenzo. Serve the backhand of Djokovic. Forehand Musetti. Forehand Djokovic down the line. So many errors off that forehand wing. How many errors has Djokovic hit? Crazy. Backhand of Djokovic, the forehand of Musetti, backhand Novak, the backhand of Musetti, backhand Djokovic, again cross court, the backhand slice of Musetti, backhand Djokovic down the line, forehand of Musetti, that's a pass! Lorenzo Musetti, young kid on the block, again trying to prove himself, just as he did last year as well, by the way. By the way, what is going on in the Zverev versus Tsitsipas match? Tsitsipas was up a set in 5-0, now it's 5-5. I wasn't even looking at that score. Jesus Christ. That is wild. Man, that is what lack of confidence will do. I tell you what. I mean, Tsitsipas probably got a little bit of confidence from the fact that he beat Echeverry 6-0, 6-1, but then he's like, nah, I'm not that confident. I'm not that confident, though. Not that confident. I've still lost, like, much more than usual in my last 6 tournaments. I'm not that confident. That's what lack of confidence will do. He was up 5-0. Now he's back to 5-5. I can't even comprehend the fact that that would be all Zverev coming back there. I mean, that's got to be at least partially Tsitsipas stepping off the gas. Novak got broken. Yes, Lexi, and he just hit his 10th unforced error. Lots of errors coming from the racket of Novak, Lexi. All right, love 15 here for Musetti. 2-4. That is crazy, really. Serve. Djokovic on the tee is a great serve. That's an ace. 15-all. Good serving from Novak. Got to do more of that. Forehand of Djokovic. Back into Musetti is a lob whip high. Smash Novak, put away. Novak smash, put away. All right, serve here from Novak at 30-15. First serve out wide, back into Musetti. Back into Djokovic, the back into Musetti down the line. That's in the net, though. 40-15. Yes, yay. Yeah, we got some Musetti fans. Let me see some predictions. Terry, what's your prediction for this one? What is your prediction for this one? Last year was Musetti in 3 sets. But Novak still leads the head-to-head 3-1. He still is winning in the head-to-head. That's in the net, and Novak, you barely see that. Novak hit the volley and just literally vocally expressed his complaints as soon as he hit the volley. Very unlike Novak so far. Although you can't say that this was particularly rare on clay courts last year, to be honest. Even last year. Last year was an amazing season for Novak, but I mean, listen, he was up on Musetti's, what was it, 6-2, 4-2, I think, or 6-4, 4-2. Then he lost also to Runa and Monte in Rome, which isn't that bad of a loss, but not great for Djokovic. Backhand slice, the forehand of Djokovic, backhand Musetti. Up high at the backhand Djokovic. This is a good shot. Backhand Musetti goes out. Djokovic still staying close. He's at 4-3. Djokovic still staying close. See if Musetti can serve the set out, and let's see how Djokovic fights. See how Djokovic can fight here. But yeah, Djokovic last year, and then also Roland Garros. I think I said this on my last stream, but Djokovic at last year's Roland Garros, really in his first 5 matches of Roland Garros, I thought he played up until this year's Australian Open. It was the most subpar first 5 matches I'd seen from Novak, probably in over a decade. At last year's Roland Garros. And I say that while also saying that his matches against Alcaraz and Casper Ruud were fantastic. But I think it's notable to point out that for a lot of the clay swing, he was playing well below his best tennis. And if he played against certain players, that they may have taken advantage of him a little bit more at Roland Garros when he was not playing his best tennis. Like, Fokina can struggle in the mental department, but even like he had set points, I believe, in both of the first 2 sets. He really should have. He lost in straight sets. He could have just as easily won in straight sets. It was like 3.5, almost 4 hours. He was struggling at Roland Garros first. Forehand was well off kilter. So was his serve. A lot of lousy errors. It was not good from Novak whatsoever. Also lost to Dusan Lajovic in his home tournament in Serbia. Trying to remember his other losses as well, but I don't think he played Madrid. I could be wrong about that though. But yeah, it wasn't great. He's also not coming in with a whole lot of form or confidence. So the cards are against Novak, but the problem for the cards is that that's exactly how Novak likes it. So let's see how he can do. I still think he's one of the greatest clay courters of all time. And even if it is maybe his worst surface. And let's see how he does here. He's won this tournament twice. He's trying to do better this year. He got here real early. He lost here last year. It's not very easy for a player to beat Novak twice in a row, especially in the same tournament, same surface. Novak's going to be vying for that revenge. Let's see if he has it in him, because Musetti has come out confident. And he's playing really very, very well. So, playing really well. Another shot that is way off from Novak. Musetti is going to take it, but these forehands are wild from Djokovic. They're absolutely wild. Djokovic, by the way, now without a coach. Just playing his second match now without a coach, without Ivanisevic. I would love to see Novak get another coach. I'm not sure it would be a great play for him now to just go no coach. I mean, he's done a lot of incredible work with Becker and with Ivanisevic, but I would expect that he would still, I mean, surely it would cut off his rhythm, especially this late in his career, to just walk around with no coach. It'd also be very late for a fresh start. I'm surprised he split with Goran, but we'll see what he does. It's a very interesting moment right now in Djokovic's career. Oh, wow, that one-handed backhand. Let the one-handed backhand flourish is what I say. Dimitrov doing so well in Miami. Now it's Musetti and Monte Carlo. How's Tsitsipas doing against Zverev, by the way, speaking of? What is his score? It's a tiebreaker at the moment. I love the shootout scoreboards. I know some people don't, but I think a lot of people also just don't really like new things. I think it's great. There's probably still ways to optimize it, but that's kind of true with anything. I think it's cool for just a kind of display change. I think it's cool. I think tennis could use with more of that. It also very much appeals to other sports fans, which I think is a good thing. People always want tennis to just be its own thing. It can't exist in the realm of sports and athletics, but that's the exact opposite way of how I think tennis should be viewed. I like that shootout scoreboard. But yeah, Zverev and Tsitsipas are in a tiebreaker, which is wild because it's 5-0. By the way, Djokovic complaining to the umpire. Not sure about what, but I think he thinks the serve was out. The Hawkeye does show the serve is out. Djokovic telling the crowd to keep on booing, by the way. He loves doing this now. Djokovic orchestrating the crowd and its boos. Man, he's really taking on this role now. He's taking on this role now. It feels a bit authentic to him, though. I'm not going to lie. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but he's always liked having the crowd against him. And I like players taking on their most authentic selves. I don't know. It adds some drama to it. I'm not saying it's great, but. By the way, Novak lost. I remember the first time he did that was against Sinner at the ATP Finals. He lost that match. I think he did that against Sinner at Davis Cup as well, and maybe he lost that one too. Can't remember if it was Davis Cup or somewhere else, but hasn't been a great play for him so far in terms of winning matches, doing the orchestrating. But anyway, he doesn't mind the crowd booing him. That's for sure. Yeah, I remember Greek sport last year in Paris, the crowd totally against him, and they won 8 straight points to close out the match. Novak doesn't mind. Forehand to Musetti. That goes out. That's 2 straight points. We're at deuce now. We're at deuce now. Yeah, Novak is now the oldest world number 1, by the way. Somebody in the crowd with a sign of that, which is pretty crazy. I honestly did not think he would pass Federer. It's kind of surprised me even. So Novak just grabbing nearly all of the records, which is nuts. Especially to live in an era with Federer and Nadal and to grab all of the records is unbelievable. And you have to give him his flowers. That is a great forehand, a big come on from Lorenzo. I think that's the thing people, in my opinion, that I think some people don't really get with Lorenzo so much is that he's one of the hardest working and most passionate guys on the tour. I think some people think that he's not fully in it. He's in it, and he's going to work hard to keep kind of growing in his career, I think. So I don't think he's a name to count out from becoming, at least a top 10 guy. Currently sits at number 24 in the world. Very young, though, still. Backhand out line is great. That is a standard Djokovic backhand. See if Djokovic can climb back into this. He's at deuce. See if Novak can climb his way back in. It's a little bit better now from Novak. I really think the motivation of the crowd, it kind of zones Novak back into something. Like, it kind of zones in with that. He needs some kind of motivation. Novak is very motivation driven. Or, that's a weird way of saying it. But he's a very, I don't know. When he has that extra kind of motivation, something as extra motivation, I think that helps him a lot. And the crowd is that right now. All right, we're at deuce here with Musetti serving. Big point in this match. Backhand to Djokovic, the backhand slice. Musetti floats long. Djokovic has a break point of his own. I think it's his first. I believe it's his first. Let me see. Okay, it's a second break point. Trying to remember when that first one was, but second break point. According to this. Actually, according to the stat they just showed, he hasn't had a single one, which I think is right. So I don't know. But it's break point. Forehand to Djokovic, the backhand to Musetti. Backhand to Djokovic. Forehand to Musetti, forehand to Novak. Forehand of Musetti, forehand to Novak. Backhand of Musetti, backhand to Djokovic. The backhand of Musetti, backhand Djokovic again. Back to the backhand, forehand to Novak. The backhand of Musetti, web high, that goes out. Djokovic is back in business. Djokovic is back in business. He's at 4-4. He's at 4-4. By the way, crowd booed at 40-15. Novak started orchestrating. And he's back at 4-4. That's what happens. If you didn't think that was going to happen, I think you may be in a coma since 2010. Novak's been doing that a lot. The crowd's booing him. It doesn't matter. Crowd's against him. It doesn't matter. He'll find a way back in. Hello, Terry. I thought my eye is super poor. Yeah. Oh, no. Come on, Novak. Lexi got the break back. There you go. He's at 4-4. Let's see how Musetti responds as well. We got a great match on our hands. This has been fantastic. I mean, Djokovic's level, not so good, but Musetti's been rock solid right from the get-go. And now Djokovic is starting to play well, too. 4-4. Forehand to Musetti. Forehand to Djokovic. Back in Musetti. One-hander out goes wide. Momentum is with Djokovic. He's at 15 love. He's at 15 love. By the way, I appreciate everybody joining in. Don't forget to subscribe to Quality Shot Tennis, please, if you haven't already. 15 love here at 4-4. Serve Nole. Down the tee, forehand. Musetti, forehand of Djokovic. Forehand to Musetti. Forehand of Djokovic. Backhand slice Musetti. The forehand of Novak. Backhand Musetti. That's shanked. Couple errors now creeping into his game. 30 love. Feels like Musetti maybe was riding a little bit on, early adrenaline, early confidence, early momentum. It's going to be really, really interesting. A really good test, I think, for Musetti here. I think that's going to be a really good test for Musetti if Djokovic can hold. These are the kind of matches you need as a young guy like Musetti. It's the kind of match that he needs. So this is a really good experience for him no matter what. It's going to be interesting to see how he responds at 5-4 here. Serve Djokovic. A wide forehand sliced. Backhand of Djokovic. Cross court. That goes out. 30-15. By the way, we will be doing the Sinner versus Struff and also the Ruud versus Hurkacz matches later. So please join in to those as well. Would love to have you over there too for those. The Sinner Struff match is going to be interesting. I'll definitely join in for a few. It's super rainy here today, so I'll have loads of time to just watch matches and chill and watch Monte Carlo. Should be great. Musetti checking the line, but it did catch. You only see that on clay courts, right? With the dirt flying all over the place and, you know, where balls can leave marks. You don't see that on grass courts or anything. Not usually. Where people walk up to the court and they're like pointing it out like, oh, the ball bounced over here. There's a chunk of grass over here. Like just on clay courts where you have that. But I love it. I love the aesthetics of clay courts. Obviously, it would be great if we could just, as long as it's accurate, if we could have electronic line calling. But I think it's a great kind of old-fashioned aesthetic, staying true to what tennis has been over many, many years. I like it. I like clay. And playing on clay is super fun. We don't have a lot of clay in the States to play on, but it's super fun. It's my favorite surface to play on. I love clay. Serve here from Djokovic. Down the tee, forehand Musetti. Forehand of Novak, forehand to Musetti, lob. Smash show got very poor. That is a poor miss. That is a miss that you don't see usually from a world number one. It's not a miss you see usually from like one of the greatest players who ever lived. Likely the number one greatest player who ever lived. I would say the greatest player who ever lived. That is not a good miss. At 40-30, you just got the break back at 4-4. Easy overhead right into the net. It's a true statement to say that Djokovic's worst shot, and his by far his worst shot is his overhead. This is his kryptonite. It's literally Novak's kryptonite. Everybody's got something. Everybody has something. There isn't a perfect tennis player. There's no perfect tennis player. Outside of maybe Federer. And Djokovic is quite closest too, isn't he? And so is Rafa. Anyway, in truth, there is no perfect tennis player. That's his kryptonite. Serve out wide for Musetti in the net. Advantage to Djokovic. It's turning out to be a very good match. Serve here from Djokovic. Kick serve, serves and volleys. That's in the net. 5-4 for Djokovic. He's a game away from taking this first set. Very interesting to see how Musetti responds here. Got Musetti serving, staying the set. Djokovic has gotten that break back. He's at 5-4. Let's see how Musetti responds here. My prediction. Yeah, I said my prediction before the match started was that it was going to be like 7-6, 7-5 or 7-6, 7-6 Djokovic, something like that. I'm going to stick with my same prediction. I say Musetti holds here. I don't think Djokovic breaks here, but I say Djokovic wins in an extended first set, like 7-5 or 7-6. I say very similar situation in the second set. That's my prediction. But let's see what happens. I don't expect Musetti to give up here, though. He's played too good of a first set. And I still don't think Djokovic's quite playing his best. The backhand Musetti. Forehand to Djokovic, the forehand drop shot Musetti. It's good variety. Backhand redrop. Musetti backhand. Oh, it's right back to Novak, though. That was a bit of a mental fart there from Musetti. Bit of a mental fart there. Just right into the Djokovic volley. Had a perfect shot, down the line. He had a perfect shot down the line. So it's low 15. Djokovic is 3 points away from the set. A set that, for the vast majority of it, looked like Musetti was going to take it. 15-all now. But that's Djokovic in a nutshell. 4-3, 40-15. The crowd was booing Novak. And since then, it's been all Djokovic. First ace of the match for Musetti, by the way. 15-all here. Italian at the line. Serve. Goes out. Second serve. Second serve of Musetti into the backhand of Novak. Backhand Musetti. Forehand of Novak. Forehand to Musetti. The backhand of Novak. Forehand to Musetti. Backhand Novak. Backhand Musetti. Cross court. Backhand Novak. Whip high. That goes out. 30-15 for Musetti. All right, let's go Lorenzo here. Let's go Lorenzo. Keep it close. This does remind me a little bit of their match in Monte Carlo last year, where Musetti played a good kind of first set and a half, but Djokovic took the lead anyway, and then Musetti managed to come back and win the match anyway. We'll see if it's a similar story, but Musetti's not going to want to go down a set, though, like last year. That would not be... Well, it still would not be ideal. That would be like lightning striking twice. If Musetti can win 2 years in a row at the same tournament versus Novak, coming back from a set down in both matches. That would be really crazy. That's a great backhand return from Novak, as we've been used to seeing from him. And we're at 30-all. You got no piece serving to that Djokovic backhand. Whether you're hitting to the forehand or a backhand, you got no piece. That's why, in my eyes, he's the greatest returner of all time. And in most people's eyes, he's at least one of the greatest returners of all time. By the way, Tsitsipas did end up beating Zverev, so he's into the quarterfinals. Former multi-champion here. All right, 2 points away is Novak. Stepping in real close. Hits the backhand big, but mishits it. That is very unlike Novak. Clearly frustrated. 40-30. Clearly frustrated Novak. I really don't think he likes these conditions. Because come on. That is a backhand he just doesn't miss. Hit it right down the middle as well. And long. Come on now. 40-30. Musetti serve. Don't know what Djokovic is doing, honestly. Complete amazement. What Novak is doing. So many errors. Backhand Djokovic. The backhand of Musetti. Forehand to Djokovic. Backhand to Musetti. Backhand to backhand. Going backhand to backhand. Backhand slice now. Forehand Djokovic comes in. It's not a great approach, though. Pass. Very good. It was a bad approach shot, and he paid for it. We're at 5-5. Very dramatic first set. This is a very dramatic first set. Five to five. It's the GOAT versus the youngster, but right now the GOAT is not playing like the GOAT. And Musetti has beaten Djokovic here last year as well. And the first time that they ever played was at Roland Garros, and Musetti played that great match at the French Open and took the first 2 sets, or at least played a great first couple of sets there. So Musetti likes playing Novak on clay. Those are the only 2 matches they've played on clay before in the past. Let's see what happens here. Layani umpiring. Says the serve was in. Yeah, let me know your predictions in the chat, what you think will all happen. Who's taking it? I think Djokovic's section in this tournament was one of the hardest sections I've ever seen to predict in a tennis tournament, because you have Rublev, you got Musetti, you've got Djokovic, and Djokovic should be the big favorite, but then you look at how he hasn't reached the semifinals of Monte Carlo in just about and literally since 2015 when he won this tournament. So this was always hard to predict how Novak was going to look in this tournament, and Musetti was one of his biggest threats. Absolutely. Rublev is out. If he can beat Musetti, then you kind of like his chances at least to potentially make the semis. We'll see with Casper as well. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this tournament unfolds. Serve from Novak. Out wide, forehand Novak. Inside out, backhand Musetti. Down the line. I like that attempt though. That's not a bad error. So not all unforced errors are worth the same. That was a good error. 40 love. He's not going to make that shot every time. That's okay. It's not 40 love. He's still going for it. Nole wins. 7-5, 6-3. Okay. I'll say 7-6, 7-5 for Djokovic. Backhand Djokovic. Actually, 7-5, 7-6. I'll go the other way. That's a forehand just into the top of the net. So Djokovic is at 6-5. Djokovic is at 6-5. I'll go 7-5, 7-6 for Djokovic. Let me know your predictions wherever you can type it up. You can type it up in the chat. An hour played in this first set so far. Like I was saying earlier, Musetti's been in good form, decent form after not having a good run. He beat Shelton in Miami, lost to Alcaraz, but was playing well. He won a match in Indian Wells, played a couple of good matches there. He lost to Nuno Borges in his last tournament in Estoril in straight sets, which wasn't great. But in general, I feel like he's been doing okay. Like he's been doing okay coming in, a little bit better. And he beat Fritz, and he's beaten Arthur Fils in straight sets in this tournament so far. So he likes his tournament. He's in good form. Last year in Monte Carlo, Musetti Musetti won 3 consecutive bagels. Musetti was hungry. He got 3 bagels in a row. He beat Luca Nardi, who beat Djokovic in Indian Wells. He beat Luca Nardi 6-0, 6-0. He was a little bit hungry. He didn't just want to beat his compatriot. He wanted to make a statement like, hey, I'm the young Italian coming up, Luca Nardi. 6-0, 6-0. That was after beating Kecmanovic 7-6, 6-0. So he won 3 6-0 sets consecutively. Did Lorenzo Musetti last year. That was right before he beat Djokovic as well. So, yeah, it's a true statement. Musetti won 3 bagels in a row, and then he beat Djokovic to top it off. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good week. I remember Musetti before that week, he was struggling a little bit last year too. And that kind of picked him back up. See how he does here. Very interesting. Djokovic and Musetti matches tend to always be compelling, at least on clay. Forehand Djokovic, the forehand to Musetti. Inside out, backhand Djokovic. The forehand to Musetti, still managing to be aggressive. He's hitting over shots very consistently and very well. 15 love. How's he serving so far? Novak tiebreaker 7-3. Okay, got you, Lexi. Love it. Love it, Lex. Backhand. That goes out. So 30 love, Musetti. Yeah, Musetti so far serving. He's serving decent. He's definitely serving decent. I mean, he's winning. What is that? 22 out of 33 points on serve. That's pretty good. It's winning about. That's pretty good. It's winning about 66% of serve points. That's too good off the forehand, though, from Novak, 30-15. Novak's definitely played better as the set has progressed. Still not great, but still not great for his standards, but he's playing better. He's hitting more winners off of both wings, which is great. Playing a little bit more aggressive. Sir, back in Novak, the back into Musetti. That goes out. So we're at 30 all. Novak is 2 points away here. 2 points away. This is when Musetti can sometimes not play his best when in the pressure moments, but let's see how he does here. He did play a great mental match against Novak here last year. Obviously, like I said, coming back well in that match, finishing off the third set. Musetti has good capabilities of, doing well in the pressure moments and having a good mental game, but it's just too inconsistent. But let's see how he can do here. Kick serve. Back in Djokovic, down the line, back into Musetti. Cross court, back in Djokovic. Back into Musetti. Down the line, forehand to Djokovic. Forehand to Musetti. Forehand Novak again. Cross court, it's a good forehand. That's in the net. It's a set point for the Serb, for Novak. He's a point away here. He's 1 point away here. That's a double fault for Musetti. What did I say? Sometimes when the pressure kind of stacks up against him, it can be a bit tough. Novak grabs the first set. So it's always going to be a danger first match. Great stuff there from Nole. We'll see how Musetti responds. Last year he lost the first set, came back anyway. But that's a great first set from Novak to win. He was up 4-3, 40-15. Crowd started booing. He said, you know what? I'm coming back. It's Lexi Cedric. Not quite Lexi, but I'm sure you'll be happy with that anyway. Since I know that you're a Novak fan. Set wasn't incredible with winners to errors, but I still thought it was decent. 12 winners, 15 errors for Novak. I think they maybe are even kind on the unforced errors count, to be honest, with Novak. But 10 winners, 13 unforced errors for Musetti. Definitely an interesting first set there. Either guy could have won it. Either guy could have won that set. Arguably, Musetti should have taken advantage better at 4-3 and not get those couple errors from up 40-15. By the way, kind of interesting. Musetti is making more first serve returns in than Djokovic is. They're just showing the stat there. Musetti is making 83% of first serve returns in, while Djokovic is making 74%. Which I guess makes sense because Djokovic is going to be a bit more aggressive on the return. So I'm not even sure that's good. But, yeah. Oh, Musetti, yep. First set 7-5 to Djokovic. We'll see how Musetti responds here in the second. Gonna try to fix up the scoreboard here real quick. Gonna try to make a darker scoreboard because I think it looks a little bit better. Let me see if I can do that real quick. By the way, Rune and Dimitrov are going to be on in a little bit as well. And they just finished their matches today. Rune just played a pretty long match against Nagal. So that's going to be interesting to see how that kind of happens. All right, hopefully that's showing up well. All right, we're starting off the second set. Love 15 for Musetti. Serve, kick, serve, backhand, way up high, forehand of Djokovic, forehand of Musetti, way up high. Forehand Musetti, big, forehand volley of Djokovic. That's good from Musetti, starting off the second set strong. Djokovic is not out of the woods yet. That is for sure. Love 30. There's just been it's been a fun match to watch. I mean, even if it hasn't always been the highest level from both sides, like we've still seen some high level stuff, and it's always it's always interesting to watch a dynamic like this when Novak is trying to, kind of avenge himself from last year against a very good clay quarter, conditions he doesn't like very much. And Musetti's playing well. Backhand down the line, forehand Novak, cross court, forehand drop shot, Musetti. Djokovic runs, redrop. Musetti gets there, no way. Oh, just missed it. I kind of wish he got it. He missed it by, must have been half an inch out. It's the cruelty of tennis. That was a great attempt, but it's not going to be applauded because he missed it. It just missed the line. What an attempt, though. It was great athleticism, even on the slide, to get that close with it. But that's the cruelty of tennis. If it's a millimeter out, nobody cares. It's the cruelty of tennis. The silent cruelty of tennis nobody ever talks about. If you hit it just wide, no one cares. You hit a millimeter out, no one cares. If it's a millimeter in, you hit the great shot of all time. It's a bit cruel. Got Sinner versus Struff and Ruud versus Hurkacz. Yes. Yeah, we're going to be doing Sinner. I was mentioning earlier, we're going to be doing Sinner versus Struff. That's going to be David's going to have that one, as well as the Ruud versus Hurkacz. I'm going to be joining into those a little bit as well. It should be good. I said Musetti in 3. Backhand slice. Forehand of Djokovic. Backhand Musetti. Backhand Djokovic. Backhand slice. Backhand of Djokovic. The backhand of Musetti. Flat, big into the forehand of Djokovic. Forehand Musetti. Backhand of Djokovic. Forehand. That goes out from Musetti, so we're at 30 all. I said Musetti in 3 on Cam's preview, but I don't even know anymore. How's Musetti playing? Musetti's playing well, but it's just in that 5-6 game, he dropped off mentally. Same thing when he was leading up 4-3. Djokovic has picked up his level a little bit. It was really very, very even and close because Djokovic was playing just a little bit below his, or quite below his best level, but just slightly below his usual level, but still playing like decent. And Musetti was playing pretty well, probably slightly above his usual. And but it was when it was 50-50 even split, it was really Musetti's kind of mental side that kind of let Djokovic take the first set. It could have gone either way. But yeah, I said Djokovic in 2 sets when the match started, but I thought it was going to be 2 very close sets. We'll see what happens. I said the same thing last year and I was wrong, But I kind of think that don't underestimate Djokovic and Monte Carlo entirely. Not entirely. I agree that these conditions don't suit him the best, but he's won this tournament twice. I just wouldn't count him out entirely. Especially if he can get to the deeper stages in the tournaments, that's usually when he gets to his best levels. So when he plays against the top guys. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I remember Musetti getting a lot of those redrops in that RG 2021 match. Yeah, got you. Our 1-0. Yeah, Musetti is quick. Musetti is definitely quick. He's one of the faster guys on the tour. My connection is the worst, I think. That's too bad. Yahoo beat him, Novak. Novak up a set and now a game. Hopefully the Dark Horse scoreboard is looking good. Appreciate you guys joining in. Let me know, do you guys think that Sinner is going to win Monte Carlo in every tournament ever from now on? Or is what's going to happen? Is Novak going to be able to win Monte Carlo? Who do you guys think is winning Monte Carlo? Let me know. It's also, does Sinner have a play at the French Open? I hope that Alcaraz is not injured. I really hope that Alcaraz can play his best tennis at Roland Garros. But I just think Sinner is going to be a problem at Roland Garros too. I was not surprised at all by Sinner's first match on clay courts. I was like, guys, if you think he's going to slow down on clay, I got some bad news for you. Because Sinner can play mighty well on clay too. It's probably his worst surface, but man, it's a pretty good worst surface. Sinner or Rune? Okay, Terry. I like those answers. Rune is a great answer. Rune, Tsitsipas, Rude, all three of those guys, they pick up on clay courts. And guys, Zverev, Rublev are out. Alcaraz withdrew. Medvedev is out. Forehand, that's a good shot. He saw Musetti covering that down the line. He went cross court. Love 15. Djokovic is way more locked in now. Way more locked in now. Rune. Don't want Rune. Yeah, well, let's see. Let's see. It'll be interesting to see how the tournament unfolds. But I would expect Sinner to take out Rune this year. I just think Sinner's playing better. Also, he'll have the confidence from their match at the ATP Finals. The fact that they beat him there in those circumstances. That's that big mental edge that he got from that match. It really, 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 really is. Backhand of Djokovic, the backhand of Musetti. Cross court, backhand of Djokovic. Backhand of Musetti, backhand of Djokovic. Again, cross court, backhand of Musetti. Backhand Djokovic, backhand of Musetti. That's in the net. Love 30. Musetti seems like his game has his levels lowered here a little bit. Beat him, Novak. Yep. That was 2013, 2015, like peak physical Nole, in my opinion. Winning so many Masters, playing a full calendar, being so terrifying to beat, even in smaller events. Yeah, that's true. I just think that everybody is saying Novak is not even. I'm not even saying winning the tournament. I'm just people are saying Novak is definitely going to lose to some guy early in round 3 or quarterfinals. And I'm just it's Djokovic. It's Djokovic in a tournament that he's won twice before. I just think people underestimate Novak and forget who Novak is just because of a history at this tournament or a recent history. I wouldn't even put that much stake in the, Fokina loss. For example, the Dan Evans one was definitely a bit strange. Musetti played really well last year. But he lost a Dominic Thiem, I think, in 2018. Of course, he's had a lot of bad losses recently. But I just think you don't count out Djokovic, especially now that he's so motivated going into the clay and he's been here for a while to start before the event started. This year in particular, I'm just don't completely count out Novak. And now that Rublev, I kind of expected Rublev to not be at his best because that's what he's been recently. Now that he's out, I just think, watch out. But yeah, let's see. Backhand, cross court, the backhand of Musetti down the line. It's a great shot. Forehand squash shot. Djokovic is there. Forehand Musetti. The backhand of Djokovic sliding into it. Backhand down the line. Forehand Djokovic. Running all over the court. Forehand of Djokovic. Cross court. Forehand of Musetti. That goes out. 15-40. 2 break points to start this off. Apple and oranges, in my opinion, as much as I want Djokovic to get the triple Golden Masters. Okay, yeah. That's fair. That's fair. That open stance backhand line is gorgeous. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it totally is. We're seeing a lot of that from a lot of guys now. I think taken after Novak, kind of the open stance sliding backhand. Sinner is an obviously one. Steph is my number one, and then Sinner. Sorry for first. Okay, fair enough. Forehand of Musetti at the back end of Djokovic, sliding off that backhand. Forehand, back forehand, Djokovic, backhand following Musetti. Djokovic is there for a pass. He gets it. Djokovic is at 2-0. For a second there, he's playing villain to the crowd and say, come on, bring on the booze. Since that moment, it's been all Novak. He's at 2-0 in the second set. Musetti should have done better there. Kind of gave Djokovic an opportunity. Djokovic was absolutely going to take it. Love to see Novak back at this level. He wasn't at the start of this match, but now he's playing really well. And yeah, that's fair. Lexi, you got to root for the boyfriend, you know? So what's up? This is definitely a big match. Musetti has really challenged Nole on clay. Past that, it's a pretty clean road. If he wins this, it's a huge chance for the tourney. Definitely a big match. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. The draw has really, really opened up for him. Nervy volley for sure from Lorenzo. Yeah, and also I just felt like the approach, and even the volley before that, I just felt like it was a strange point from Musetti at the end, although Djokovic really earned it as with a really great passing shot, but it was both sides. Musetti not playing a great point, Djokovic playing a great point. That goes out from Djokovic, though, 15. This is crap. Yeah, Djokovic got the lead. See how Musetti can respond. Sinner doesn't like clay for real. Yeah, yeah, Lexi. I mean, I don't know. That's what people say, but I don't agree. I think that obviously with this game, he won't like clay as much as he likes the other surfaces. I think that will be true. Forehand volley, right back to Musetti. Backhand, forehand volley into the net. I don't know what Novak's doing these first couple of points. Man, oh man. Love 30 now. Very poor. Djokovic also hit it right back to Musetti there. Djokovic also hit it right back to Musetti there, who had that backhand pass. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be as good as his other surfaces for Sinner, but I think that Sinner can still play mighty good on clay. And man, does he move well. And he's adding so much good variety into his game that's going to do very good for the natural surfaces too. I mean, all across the board. Also, watch out for him on grass courts, especially. He was good on grass. Now that the serve has improved, his serve really started being good in Canada. That was the first tournament he played after Wimbledon. Like, now that a serve is a pinpoint serve and is doing as well as on grass courts, like, man, he is going to be a big contender at Wimbledon. Forehand cross court, forehand Novak. Forehand down the line. Not calculated well enough, and that goes long. 15:30. Gonna watch Runa. Okay, no problem, Terry. Appreciate you joining in. Novak. He's got the lead hero. See how much that he can do. Happy seeing Steph win the end, but what happened from 5-0 up? Zverev was barely in the match mentally. I don't even know. I do not even know. I saw that. Steph was up a set in 5-0, and then Zverev came back. I literally checked the score at 5-0, and then I checked the score, and it was 5-5. That was literally what happened. I was like, I literally don't know what happened. But backhand, forehand swing volley, backhand Musetti. Wow, big come on as well. Musetti still wants something in this match. That's a hell of a shot. Shot of the match from Musetti. One hell of a shot. Great defense. Djokovic still just not confident to that overhead. And Musetti, I mean, that is an absolute thing of beauty. I mean, the one-handed backhand in tennis, that's up there with the most beautiful some of the most beautiful things you can watch in any sport. Some of the most exciting, eye-pleasing things you can watch in any sport. Man, is it exciting when a one-handed backhand player goes for that winner. For that one-handed winner down the line. Hits it flat. It is just a thing of beauty. That's a good volley. Too good. Too good from Djokovic, who closes in early into the net. Unnecessary drive volleys from Nole. That's true, yeah. Kind of gave an opportunity to Musetti. Can't hit approaches to Musetti's backhand. That's fair, too. He's doing really well on that side. Yeah, you're probably right, David. That's not the good side to approach on. Especially when he can hit a pass like that. It's not like the forehand is going to be smacking winners all over the place. Not usually for a pass. Especially when you can play kind of aggressive to that forehand. That goes out from Nole. Musetti is back in business. Lorenzo Musetti is back in business. He's at 2-1. Let's go, Musetti. He's back in the second set. Started off. Hey, what's up, Maynor? Hello, hello. Musetti's backhand on clay is ridiculously good. You're asking to get punished if you don't hit with pace there. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But, I mean, Djokovic hit with pace there, and he still got punished just by a great shot from Lorenzo. But, yeah, that backhand, yeah, you're right. When Musetti has a lot of time on that backhand, he can really hit some great shots with it. Steph won. GG. Yep. Steph got the win. Steph got the win. I'm gonna look at what I'm gonna look at the draw real quick. Gonna look at the draw real quick and see who Steph got next. I'm kind of forgetting at the moment. But yeah, Steph got the win. I guess he plays Hatchinoff next. Tsitsipas will play Hatchinoff next. That's interesting. Yeah, that was a couple of crazy third rounds. All kind of same generation players. Medvedev versus Tsitsipas and Hatchinoff versus Medvedev. I was so close to picking Hatchinoff over Medvedev in my draw preview, but I can't say anything because I didn't do it. But Medvedev doesn't love the super slow clay, so I wasn't fully surprised by that. Hatchinoff was playing really well on clay last year. He played one of the best matches that I'd seen him play against Novak at the Roland Garros last year. He was up a set, completely outplaying Novak up until the second set tiebreaker. But yeah, Hatchinoff versus Tsitsipas. That should be pretty good. That should be pretty good. I think Tsitsipas is the favorite just because of how much he likes clay courts. All right, we've got Musetti now serving from down 1-2. All here with Musetti. I swear if Rune beats Dimitrov, I will cry live on stream. Dude, yeah. I'm not going to lie. I would love to see Grigor win that one, too. I was so happy with Grigor doing well in Monte Carlo. David, I think some of our favorites are the same if we boil it down. Forehand. Backhand slice of Musetti. The backhand of Djokovic. Backhand Djokovic. The backhand slice of Musetti. Backhand Djokovic. Backhand Musetti sliced. Backhand Djokovic. Down the line. Forehand Musetti for a pass. Forehand Djokovic volley. That's too good. 15-30 here. Djokovic with a chance. Rune won. Yeah, Rune beat Nagal. Yep. What's up, Cedric? Pick up yourself. Yeah. Z must be really tired, David. I saw the match and he has doubles too. Yeah. Yeah, he probably is. He probably is. Who's Zverev playing with? Zverev sometimes playing with Melo. Is that who he's playing with? That would make sense. I saw his brother there watching as well, Misha, who is quite good at doubles and would love coming to net as well. I miss him on the tour. I love those like serve and volleying guys, like a Maxime Cressy, Misha Zverev. Who's he playing with though? Zverev doubles, yeah, with Marcelo Melo. They're playing against Echeverry and Francisco Cerundolo. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, they started their match yesterday, but didn't finish. They were at 2-1 the first set. Melo and Zverev versus Echeverry and Cerundolo. So many singles players now playing the doubles. If we keep it up, I mean, it's all good. Singles players get people to watch, and they can be very good at doubles too, but if singles players completely and utterly infiltrate doubles, then I think doubles is going to fall apart at the seams. We're going to have way less doubles at tournaments because it's not going to be as high level probably in general. And it's going to turn doubles into singles, and that's not what doubles should be. Especially with the way singles tennis is played nowadays. That's what's good about doubles is people coming to net and, so much variety of shots and the teamwork of it. It shouldn't be singles. So I wish that we could just leave it up, like, have the biggest focus priority on the doubles players and the people dedicate their lives to perfecting the skill of doubles because it's a completely different sport. But anyway, it's my rant. Backhand. It's my rant also with the new rules that were announced for Madrid in doubles. Backhand sliced, forehand to Djokovic, cross court, forehand to Musetti. Forehand Djokovic, back cross court, forehand to Musetti. That goes long though. It's a chance for Musetti there. Djokovic probably should have gone down the line. He gave a chance to Musetti, and he hits it long. That forehand of Musetti is a little bit unreliable sometimes. Not seen a Novak drop shot, normally a common sight when he plays on clay. Yeah, he was doing that a little. He did a couple early, but he hasn't been doing it very much. You're absolutely right, Matthew. Good to have you in here, Matt. You're totally right. He hasn't done one in a while. He should implement that more. He is winning at the moment, but that would be good. We are now back on serve. Things have gotten a little bit more complicated, and it's Musetti at deuce here. Serve from Musetti. Kick to the backhand of Djokovic. That's a great return. Backhand. Lob Musetti. Smash. Oh, right back to Musetti. Hits it in the net. Advantage to Djokovic. Marcos Novak, okay. Novak. He's at break point here at 2-1. We're watching Novak cry living on stream. I'll give 5 memories. David will actually tear up on stream. Eye drops will come in clutch. Serve. I love the names Misha and Sasha and Nikita. Yeah, true. Those are good names. Serve. Forehand back into Musetti. Forehand Djokovic, forehand Musetti. Backhand Djokovic, forehand Musetti. Backhand Djokovic. Such a tense moment. Drop shots in the net. That's poor from Lorenzo. Djokovic will be looking for a straight sets. He's at 7-5 and 3-1. My opinion, Dimitrov should win because Rune has the doubles to fall back on. It's only fair, Holger. Give it to him. That's funny. You can win in doubles. I want Rune versus Sinner. Low-key, I want that too, though. But I'd be fine with Sinner Dimitrov rematch too. So David quickly prays to the Anfield gods for a Grigor win. That's funny. Rune out in doubles. Got you. Joko smash. Yep. It's good enough there though. 3-1. Got some good questions today. Hey, hit me with it, Terry. Rune to make the final. David to commentate balling ensues as Hooker wins the title. That is funny. If Grigor loses against Rune, I will never forgive him. Grigor is definitely by far the more informed player. And he loves Monte Carlo. This is his highest win rate out of clay tournament. I think Grigor should win that match. Also, Grigor beat Rune the last time they played in the final of Brisbane. So I think Grigor can win that match. I think Grigor can win that match. Rune can have the doubles title. Behind that baseline, the drop shot is always unlikely. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Musetti's doing well to be aggressive and pushing back behind the baseline, or at least he has been for most of the match. Or at least, rally with good depth and keep him behind the baseline, not hit super short. On clay, obviously, you're going to find yourself behind the baseline way more than usual. 15-all here. As Musetti gets a good forehand down the line. Musetti's not played a bad match. It's a good sign for Novak that he hasn't played his best, but he's playing a good version of Musetti, and he's still up a set in 3-1. So it's a pretty decent start to Monte Carlo for Djokovic, especially the way the draw is opened up. You can be negative, but with the circumstances of how Djokovic has entered the Monte Carlo tournament, with a withdrew from Miami, lost to Nardi and Indian Wells, split with Ivanisevic, lost the Australian Open, didn't have a great clay swing last year, lost to Musetti in Monte Carlo. If he can beat Musetti in straight sets or just beat Musetti here, you should make a good case that this has been a good start to Monte Carlo for Djokovic. That there's reasons to be positive when it comes to his tournament. Serve here from Djokovic, kick serve. Back into Musetti, way up high. That goes out. 40-15 for Djokovic. Be right back. All right, no problem. 40-15. I also feel like Djokovic is serving way better. It feels like Musetti at this point has not been doing much of anything on the return of serve. See, it's another great serve down tee. It's in the net. 4-1 for Djokovic. 7-5 and 4-1. Yeah, Djokovic at this point, 67% of first serves in, 68% of first serve points won. Way better than Musetti at this point. Also, 56% of second serve points won isn't bad either. Winners to errors, I don't know if this is accurate, honestly, but maybe it could be. I don't know. But anyway, 15 winners. Now, something about this has to be off, though. Surely. The unforced errors count for Musetti. Something about this has to be off. But, yeah, overall, I mean, also, that's a big stat. Djokovic has converted all 4 of his break points. Musetti's just 2 out of 5. That's a big stat. That's pretty crazy. Musetti has had 5 break points. Djokovic has had 4. But Djokovic has broken 4 times. Musetti's broken twice. That's pretty crazy. Djokovic has had more break points. Musetti's had more break points, but Djokovic has broken double the amount of times Musetti has. And it's only been 4 or 5 break points. Novak looks like he's struggling a little bit physically, walking a bit gingerly. I mean, at times on the changeover, he's asked for ice. He's asked for different things. I don't know what the temperature is in Monte Carlo at the moment. I'm a little bit curious. Monte Carlo right now, according to Google, it is sunny, 57% humidity. Wow. And 68 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, it's probably pretty hot. It's pretty hot. And so yeah, that's so yeah, he's kind of feeling it, I guess. All right, Djokovic is 2 games away from a good win here. He needs it. And you don't say that very often against Djokovic, but he needs it. Forehand way up high. That's a shank from Djokovic. Or not a shank, but it bounces right off the line. But he'll take it. Love 15. The tables have turned here. Musetti is not the force that he was for the better part of the first set and 3 games of this match. For the first set and the first 3 games of the second set, Musetti was quite a force to deal with. But now it feels like Djokovic has picked up his level and Musetti has dropped his. That's another error. So love 30. Love 30. Djokovic looking to make the head-to-head 4-1. It's still, the next time Djokovic Musetti play on clay courts, you're still going to have that feeling like, hey, maybe something can happen. Because Musetti, the first set could have gone either way here. And Musetti's fought well. You got to break back early in the second set. It's not been a bad match, but Djokovic's been too good today. Or, he's figured it out today. He's getting the win. 6 points away from the victory. Serve back into Djokovic down the middle. Forehand to Musetti. Back in Djokovic. Forehand Musetti. Back in Novak. That goes out. 15-30. That Rune Dimitrov match is interesting. The history books won't record the rain delays, really. Just about getting the win, giving yourself a chance in the quarters. Yeah, that's true. That is true. And they totally should record it, especially from the side of Rune, who's had to play about one half of a 3-set match today. So I remember Barcelona 1 year playing the semis and final in the same day. Yeah, exactly. That's what I think about that one too, with that unbelievable match point save against Demonor, where I've never seen anything like it. Alcaraz hit with the other side of the racket, or I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was crazy. Oh, banana shot from Musetti. It comes late, but one of the shots of the match from Lorenzo. A lot of space to hit it into. Djokovic kind of left the court open, but the way he hit it was impressive. Musetti defending way behind the baseline. Kind of a weird slice approach. Musetti with a great banana shot. He's still losing on the scoreboard, but he won points on scores on getting onto Sports Center. He's now at 30 all. Hey, what's up, Ferenc? Bottle Seti, no way. I'm familiar with your game, Moz. Yeah, it's not the first time, unfortunately. Backhand Djokovic, the backhand to Musetti. Backhand Djokovic. Backhand Musetti, back cross court, backhand Djokovic. Forehand to Musetti, inside out, backhand Novak. The forehand to Musetti. We're forehand to backhand, Musetti on that ad side. Not feeling that confident maybe on that backhand to backhand right now, hitting the forehand. 40-30 for Musetti here. Alcaraz hitting the match points versus Demonor in the semis, won 3 sets, then destroyed informed Carano in the final on the same day. Mental. Yeah, absolutely. I always remember Wimbledon Hurkacz versus Medvedev. Medvedev was winning 2 sets to 1 up. I believe he was up a break as well. And then they went away, and the next day Hurkacz won the match pretty quickly in 5 sets. Came back and won the match. So that's one that I always think about. However, listen, Medvedev could have already been a Wimbledon semifinalist had he won that match, because he would have had Federer in the next round, and Federer was not at his physical best against Hurkacz. And by the way, Medvedev, by that kind of same property, had they finished on that same day, potentially, just potentially, Medvedev could have been Federer's last opponent if maybe they finished on that day rather than the rain delay happening. If Medvedev had won that match. I always think about that when I think of rain delays. But yeah, Rune Dimitrov will actually be really, really good. Because Rune last year got to the final Monte Carlo, likes these conditions. Dimitrov 2-0. Okay. I've got Dimitrov in 3 sets. I'll pick Dimitrov confidently in 3. But it will be an interesting one. Smash from Novak from the baseline. Oh, Musetti gets it. Backhand. Forehand to Djokovic. Cross-court forehands in the net. 15-love. It just feels like Djokovic has all the intensity and momentum right now. Good effort from Lorenzo hanging in the game. It is, yeah. Certainly at Roland Garros, Lorenzo just completely tipped his hat and said, okay, you win. You win, whatever. In the 5th set, it was just over, which is kind of crazy, right? Because when you're in the 5th set, you're 1 set away from beating Novak. Like, technically, you're 1 set away from beating Novak. But that just shows how mental the game is. Forehand Djokovic, forehand to Musetti. Backhand Djokovic, the forehand to Musetti. Forehand Djokovic. That's inside the sideline. Forehand inside out. Backhand Djokovic. Forehand inside in. Forehand Djokovic cross court. Forehand to Musetti. The backhand Djokovic. Hits the tape, goes over. Musetti's there though. Oh, he hits it right back to the backhand volley. What a rally. No way. Forehand cross court. That is a big come on. Musetti still believes. And he's still fighting. Come on, Musetti, got to match my prediction. Last year, Cedric, 2023, Monte Carlo, Musetti was down to 7-4-2, and Musetti came back and won the match. Does lightning strike twice in Monte Carlo? Does lightning strike twice in Monte Carlo? We will see. Hey, what's up, Happy Mind? Again, Youth has surrendered again to Joko and defeat is staring Musetti's face since only a matter of a few minutes, okay? Fair enough. Let's see. Let's see. I do feel like Musetti is fighting well, though, at the end here. I mean, he's still, you know, pumping himself up, yelling, come on, going for the big shots, going for it. Forehand, back into Musetti. Forehand, Djokovic hits over it for Musetti. Oh, so nearly did he get there. 30-15. I don't know what Djokovic is reacting to, but Djokovic with a very, very dramatic reaction. Probably the way he hit the swinging volley. He's let Musetti have a lot of opportunities to get back into points. It almost feels like a Davis Cup kind of atmosphere right now. The music going on in the crowd. Crowd's really into it. Or something going on, or some sounds going on. Serve down the tee. Back in Djokovic. Back into Musetti. Topspin. Up high at the forehand. Djokovic inside in. That's too good. 40-15. Djokovic cook up the slad. Yep. Love 30 and wins 4 points in a row. This set could turn around pretty quickly, no doubt. I don't expect Novak to take his foot off the gas. Not at this point. I feel like Novak is running with good momentum right now. His level might be too high at the moment. Maybe at the start of the match, up until about 5-5. But ever since that point, I feel like Novak's really been on it. I mean, at 2-0, he kind of let his foot off the gas. But I think Novak, maybe at this point, is just going to kind of keep it moving. But let's see. 40-15 here. That's the police, Anthony. Is it? Okay. I probably misheard them. There you go. Forehand down the line, 40-30. It's the police because Djokovic is getting out of jail in a lot of these close games. Djokovic with a game point to get 5-2. By the way, please, everybody who hasn't already, please don't forget to subscribe to Quality Shot Tennis if you haven't already for more streams. We'll be doing the Sinner versus Struff later in the day as well. And we will also be doing the Ruud versus Hurkacz. David in the chat, Cross-Court Tennis in the chat, he'll be doing those. So, yeah, definitely stick around for those. Forehand call, that is an impeccable shot. It's a big roar as well. It's too good. It's too good. It's too good, Nole. Again, though, I have to say, though, that swinging volley is not good enough. I mean, come on. That attacking shot, it was way too short. It bounced way up high for Musetti to hit a killer passing shot. That was a hell of a shot, though. What is Djokovic doing in the midcourt? Exactly. Yeah, that was not good enough. When I first watched it, I was like, Musetti just did a good pass, but honestly, yeah, that's not good enough. Forehand to Musetti. Forehand Djokovic, back cross court. Forehand to Musetti. Down the line, backhand slice to Djokovic. Back in Musetti, back cross court. Oh, that's in the net. That's a good point for Musetti. Very patient stuff. Very patient stuff. Advantage to Musetti. Not even swing volley. You had time on the forehand. Yeah. On the forehand. Yeah. Attacking forehand. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. Whether it's a forehands or it's swinging volley, he's just kind of, he's letting Musetti back into this. Back in those points. Monte Carlo Djokovic cannot be underestimated. Fair enough. David, you may have called it. Because he's kind of letting Musetti back in this game. Advantage to Musetti. Wow, that's a time violation for Djokovic. I don't know. Isn't it necessary to call it that big of a moment? Why are time violations never called on at like 30-15 or 15 left? It's always got to be on the biggest moments of the match. It just doesn't really make much sense. And I understand that that's like when players can take the most time, but it's like, let them take the time. If they're not being completely overboard in the biggest moments, just let the match play out, man. All right, advantage here, Musetti. Kick serve, forehand to Musetti. Inside out, back into Djokovic, forehand to Musetti. Back into Djokovic, back into Musetti. Back into Djokovic, down the line, forehand to Musetti. Forehand to Djokovic, forehand to Musetti, down the line, back into Djokovic. Back and slice Musetti. Back to the backhand Djokovic, deep in the court. Slice just is over the net. How did Musetti do that? Backhand off a strange bounce, awkward point. Musetti apologizes, but he will take it. Lorenzo Musetti is at 4-3. Wow. David, you called it. He's fighting well. I think Djokovic is going to have a word to the umpire about the time violation. We'll see, though. 43 minutes long for second set. Musetti's fighting on, just like last year. Same thing. Second break of the set for Musetti. Djokovic breathing super heavy, by the way. Gil Gross always talks about the cardio necessary coming into the tournament like this for Monte Carlo. Djokovic's got his towel over his head. He must be feeling it. It is hot and humid in Monte Carlo. You know, it's what the slowest clay court on the circuit. It results in a lot of longer rallies. It was another long rally there. Very kind of windy conditions, long rallies, very slow points. And it's the first clay court tournament of the season, you know? There's a reason Djokovic struggles here. Crowd made a huge reaction after that slice, LOL. Yeah, true. That was crazy, though. I don't know how Musetti even did that. But, man, oh, man. 4-3. All right, I feel like we're potentially either close to the end or this could have just been the first half of the match. But in chance that we're going to the second half of the match, which maybe is Musetti trying to complete a comeback, here's what the stats are looking like so far in the match, according to this website, which is tennis24.com. Djokovic doing better on the serve, which is to be expected. 3 aces to 1. Also, 69% first serves in, 64% first serve points won, which is much better than Musetti's doing all across the board. Musetti also saving just 0 out of 4 break points. Winners to errors. I don't know if this is true. Surely this can't be true. 17 winners to 8 unforced errors, 16 winners to 19. I just can't imagine that that's true. But yeah, it's pretty amazing though that Djokovic has these serving numbers and that Musetti still manages to break him twice in the set. But does go to a few of those points where Djokovic is really letting Musetti back into the points at the net and in the midcourt. I'll tell you what, that's going to play into Djokovic's lack of confidence too, because if Djokovic is breathing heavy and not doing well in these longer rallies, Musetti is a young guy. He can play all day. If Djokovic is not doing well in these longer rallies, and he's going to want to finish it off at the net. And guess what? If he can't finish it off at the net, then he's going to feel a lack of confidence because, man, then he's going to have to rally from the back. And that's something that's just going to wear his legs out and make him breathe super heavy. So he's going to want to finish it. He's 2 games away. He's going to want to finish it here. Musetti hits a backhand wide, so 15 all. 15-15. Is Novak okay? I hope so. But it's not looking it. He's not looking at Jerome. He's breathing heavy and he's not looking very good. Not a good sight to see, although we saw similar things against Alcaraz in Cincinnati, although he was down a set there. And he still managed to win in, 3 hours, 51 minutes. So you never know really with Nole, but let's see. Back in cross court, back into Djokovic, back into Musetti at the back into Djokovic. Forehand now, Musetti to the back into Djokovic, forehand again. Inside in, that goes out. 15-30. Musetti clearly frustrated with that. Another early error there from Musetti. A forehand error and a backhand error in these rallies. At this point, he's got to find a way to just get away from those errors and just keep it in and keep Novak moving. Serve from Musetti here at 15-30. First serve is Lillette. Second serve here from Lorenzo. Kick serve, backhand of Djokovic, forehand of Musetti. Cross court, forehand Djokovic, way up high. That lane's in. Smash. Oh, it hits the tape. That's a bad error. Remember that one. Remember that one. It's a Djoko smash from Musetti's side. It's not so good. It's a Djoko smash from Musetti's side. Hits the top of the tape. Very awkward. Just not enough kind of height on it. That's a tough shot to hit, but went too low percentage with the smash. First serve, very high percentage. Kick serve. Backhand. The backhand of Musetti. Forehand Djokovic with a chance to take this here. Forehand. Oh, that's a great shot from Lorenzo. 30-40. Hey, what's up, Joe? Good to have you in here. What's up, Joe Mama? 30-40. 30-40 here. If anybody's looking for a recap, Musetti started the match very well. Djokovic completely outplayed. Musetti was up a break. He was up 4-3, 40-15. The crowd started booing Novak, who was wondering about a line call. And since then, Djokovic started playing really well. Musetti kind of mentally blinked a few times. Since that point, the first set could have gone either way. Musetti retrieved a break at 2-0 in this set. But Djokovic broke back. That's a big forehand return of serve down the line. Are you kidding me? Big forehand return inside in. Right inside of that ad side sideline. Oh my God, what a return of serve. That is a statement. Djokovic is here to play on clay. Watch out for the Djokovic fitness this week. But if he can stay fit, he's got a good draw. He's here to serve this out. It's going to be unlikely that Musetti can break for the third time this set. But basically what happened, Musetti broke at 2-1. Djokovic managed to break again for 3-1. But Musetti played a great return game once again. And Djokovic just letting Musetti off the hook in very advantageous positions in the court. And he was looking very physically spent. But then, once again, able to get the break right there. Now he's going to serve for the match. It's not been the ideal match, but he's definitely played a little bit better since about 5-5 in the first set. Really since about 4-3 in the first set. His level has picked up. Novak looks unwell. He has done for about 20 minutes. Yes, he hasn't looked great. I agree. On the sidelines, he's been asking for ice. When he's went to a share, he's been asking for ice, etc., etc. The crowd hates Novak. Boo. I agree. We got a lot of crowds that are booing Novak. But, crowds will do what crowds do. It's 15 love for Djokovic. Everyone will have favorites, and that's fine. But sometimes I feel the crowd gets at Novak for no reason. That just helps out Novak. We see the perfect example of that in this match. He's 3 points away. Here's Djokovic. Kick serve, the backhand of Musetti, forehand of Djokovic. Inside hand, it's a great shot. Musetti's so quick with a squash shot, but that goes long. This is a good win for Djokovic. I won't say it's been perfect, but it's a good win for Novak. If he can finish this off. Musetti Djokovic matches on clay courts, they're built different. Whether it was last year Monte Carlo or Roland Garros, and now this one's been tight. By the way, 7-5, 6-3. Trying to remember. I think somebody in this chat predicted this exact score, which is kind of crazy. 40 love. Let me know if it was you typing in the chat predicted this exact scoreline earlier in the chat. I can't remember who it was, but by the way, winner of this match. Oh, the winner of this match will play de Minaur. So likely it's going to be Djokovic versus de Minaur in the quarters. That's a good draw for Djokovic. It's a great draw for Djokovic. De Minaur is playing well too, but it's a good draw, you got to say. On de Minaur's worst surface. First serve was close to an ace, but just goes long. Second serve. Novak to get to the quarterfinals of Monte Carlo for the third time in 8 appearances. His last 8 appearances. Looking for his first semifinal appearance since he won the tournament in 2015 against de Minaur, if he can win this point. Then he does, as Musetti. It's a huge forehand long. Djokovic takes out Lorenzo Musetti in Monte Carlo. In the Monte Carlo Masters. In Monte, that's it. Novak through to the quarterfinals. It's a tournament he doesn't always enjoy playing at recently. But Djokovic gets the win over Musetti. Musetti with an honorable attempt at the match. But, yeah. He will take on de Minaur in the next match. That'll be in the quarterfinals. It's a good draw. I think he'll like that one up next. And then it could be either Hurkacz or Casper Ruud or Sonego or Humbert in the semifinals. Djokovic has a good draw. And this is good signs for Novak. Great signs. All right, I appreciate everybody joining in. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Please don't forget to like the stream as well if you haven't already. Really does help out the channel. Appreciate you guys. Monole, come on. Yup. Me, I'm psychic, you know. Cedric, that's crazy. 7563. Cedric got the exact score right at the very start of the match. 7563. That's pretty crazy. That's a good one. Or something like that. Nice. What's your psychoanalysis of Favi G? It's a weird dude on Twitter. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway. Oh, my. Sometimes I don't get the things that he tweets. By Bodman is that the winner is going to be Djokovic, that he'll be the champion of Ms. Monte Carlo. If he gets a triple Masters, he better go ahead and do it. This is the year if he's going to do it. This is the year if Novak's going to do it. Let's go, Nole. He's through the quarters. Great job for Djokovic. All right, I appreciate everybody joining in. And, yeah, Djokovic threw against Musetti. He served well, and especially after 5-5 in the first set, he really mentally locked in for the most part. And played a good match, not perfect. He'll definitely want to improve his kind of mid-court game and playing well towards closer to the net. And not letting his opponents have as many chances when he has chances to put away the balls. But he doesn't love the super slow conditions. He never has. But if he's fit, he's got a great draw, and he should like his draw a lot. And his chances in this tournament. Appreciate everybody joining in. Please join in for Sinner versus Struff. That will be on. Is that up right after this one? Is that on right after this one? Let me see. Yeah, that's gonna be up next. So hold up. All right, let me link that in the chat. Gonna link that one in the chat real quick. All right, I'm going to link Sinner versus Struff in the chat. David will have the call for that one, so please join in for that. And also, we will also be doing Ruud versus Hurkacz, but Sinner versus Struff is up next. That's going to be good. So let me link that one in. Let me link that one in. Getting the link to that stream here. Okay, cool. All right, that should be linked in the stream. All right, I appreciate it. Appreciate everybody joining in. All right. Link is in the chat. Please join in for Sinner versus Struff. I appreciate you, Jerome. Thank you. Thank you for joining in. Glad my prediction was correct, but still hoping promising times on clay this season. Hope Lorenzo does well this year. Absolutely. Absolutely. Always open for good stuff from Musetti. This is his best surface. I hope for a good run from him at Roland Garros. Would be very fun to see. Good match from Musetti, but it was a great win for Novak. He's through. I'll see you guys at the next stream. Make sure to join in for Sinner vs. Struff. That's up next.